The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Sarah Chen stepped forward to the central dais. Around her, representatives from 47 different species watched with calculating eyes, their forms ranging from the crystalline Vextari to the gaseous Nephilim clouds contained within their atmospheric suits. The air thrummed with tension, thick enough to cut with a blade. Council Prime Zethkar, a towering reptilian being with scales that shifted color with his emotions, leaned forward in his seat. His scales currently displayed a deep crimson, anticipation mixed with barely concealed hostility. Human, Zethkar's voice resonated through the chamber's translation matrix. Your species has been troublesome since joining our collective. You wage wars with primitive weapons, yet somehow emerge victorious against our most advanced civilizations. You've disrupted 3 major trade routes, caused the collapse of 2 minor empires, and somehow convinced the notoriously xenophobic Krill to become your allies. Murmurs rippled through the assembly. The Krill representative, a mantis-like creature named Vector, clicked his mandibles in what humans had learned was their equivalent of nervous laughter. The council demands answers, continued the Dominion representative, a being of pure energy contained within a mechanical shell. What is humanity's secret? What advantage do you possess that allows such disruption? Ambassador Chen smiled, an expression that seemed to unsettle several nearby delegates. She'd been expecting this question for months. Earth's rapid rise, from a barely spacefaring species to a significant galactic player in just 2 decades, had indeed raised eyebrows, or their equivalent appendages, across known space. You want to know our advantage? Chen asked, her voice carrying clearly through the chamber's acoustics. Our edge that you've all been trying to figure out? Precisely. Zethkar's scales shifted to an impatient orange. Your military tactics are crude. Your technology derivative of our own designs. Your ships barely qualify as spacefaring vessels. Yet you've achieved in 20 years what most species require centuries to accomplish. The Council believes you possess some hidden weapon, or genetic modification that grants you this superiority. The Ethereal Collective's representative, a shimmering being of light and consciousness, pulsed with curiosity. We have analyzed your biology extensively. Your physical capabilities are unremarkable. Your lifespans are brief. Your sensory apparatus is limited. What do you hide from us? Chen looked around the chamber, meeting the gazes or sensor arrays of each representative. You really want to know? Enough games, growled the Ursine delegate, a massive bear-like creature whose translator struggled with his rumbling vocalizations. Reveal your secret weapon. Very well. Chen's smile widened. Our greatest strength, the thing that makes us so dangerous to your carefully ordered galaxy, is also our greatest weakness. The chamber erupted in confused chatter. Several delegates leaned forward, eager to hear this revelation. We don't give up, Chen said simply. The translation matrix struggled for a moment, cycling through various linguistic interpretations, before settling on the closest approximations in each species' language. The result was a wave of confused silence. Elaborate, Zethkar demanded, his scales now a puzzled blue-green. Every species in this chamber has one thing in common, Chen began, walking slowly around the central platform. You're all rational. When faced with insurmountable odds, you calculate the probabilities, assess the resources, and make the logical decision to withdraw, negotiate, or surrender. It's why your civilizations have lasted thousands of years. It's why your societies are stable and your wars brief. She paused, letting the words sink in. Humans don't do that. When we're told something is impossible, we try anyway. When the odds are 1,000,000 to 1 against us, we focus on that one chance. When every rational analysis says we should quit, we dig in harder. We don't surrender when we should. We don't retreat when it's logical. We don't accept defeat even when it's inevitable. The Vextari delegate, a creature of living crystal, chimed with harmonics that translated as confusion. This seems inefficient, wasteful of resources and lives. Oh, it absolutely is, Chen agreed cheerfully. We've fought wars that lasted decades over patches of worthless ground. We've spent centuries trying to achieve impossible goals. We've died in massive numbers pursuing dreams that any sane species would abandon. It's completely irrational. Then how is this an advantage? Asked the Aquatic Confederation's representative, speaking through a water-filled communication sphere. Because sometimes, Chen's voice grew soft, dangerous. Impossible things become possible through sheer bloody-minded refusal to accept reality. When the hegemony told us to surrender our colony ships, we refused and invented faster-than-light communication to coordinate our defense. When the Trade Consortium said humans could never break their economic monopolies, we spent 50 years building alternatives everyone said were doomed to fail. When the Krill told us they'd never ally with soft mammals, we kept trying for 8 years until they finally realized we were too stubborn to give up. Zethkar's scales had shifted to a pale, alarmed white. You're saying your species is literally too irrational to be defeated? I'm saying that when you corner a human, they don't calculate odds. They don't assess resources. They don't consider the logical response. Chen's smile had become something predatory. They ask one question, how do I win anyway? The chamber had gone deathly quiet. The implications were sinking in across 47 different forms of consciousness. That's... The Dominion representative's mechanical voice faltered. That's... terrifying. It gets worse, Chen continued. We share this trait with each other. When one human is in trouble, others will rush to help them, even against impossible odds. We'll spend ridiculous amounts of resources saving a single person. We'll fight wars to rescue prisoners everyone else would write off as lost. We'll attempt rescue missions that have no logical chance of success. The ethereal collective pulsed, rapidly, agitation evident in their fluctuating light patterns. Your entire species operates outside rational parameters. Now you're getting it. Chen nodded. You asked for our weakness. This is it. We can't be reasoned with when we decide something is important. We can't be deterred by superior force because we don't properly calculate odds. We can't be negotiated with when we think we're in the right because we don't compromise on principles. She spread her hands wide, addressing the entire assembly. Humanity's greatest weakness is that we're too stubborn to know when we're beaten, too irrational to quit when we should, too stupid to accept the impossible. A long moment of silence stretched through the chamber. Finally, Zethkar spoke, his scales now a pale, fearful yellow. And you're telling us this. Why? Chen's smile became genuinely warm. Because you asked. And because I wanted you to understand something important. We really genuinely want to be friends with all of you. We want to trade, to share knowledge, to explore the galaxy together in peace. She paused, letting the words hang in the air. But if you keep pushing us, keep trying to limit us or control us or force us to be something we're not, well, she shrugged. We've never learned how to give up, and we never will. The silence that followed was absolute. Across the chamber, 47 species stared at the small human woman, who had just explained why her people were the most dangerous beings in the galaxy, and why they always would be.